There was solitary confinement, 52 days, you
Which
know.
meant you met no other prisoner?
No, no. But even the guards were not allowed to talk to me. Even if I asked the guards any questions, they would not reply. I'm not allowed to have a conversation with anybody. And the guards come into my room, they handcuff me and blindfold, and I'm led to another place where the interrogation takes place, blindfolded and handcuffed. And they open the blindfold and handcuff in the room. And then I get to see who's going to be interrogating me for that day. Sometimes it's 3 officers, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 7, and it's rotated different people at different times, you know.
Were you, over the 52 days, ever given the opportunity to see natural sunlight, a garden?
No, no, no. We only see the inside of the cell and the inside of the interrogation room. And the only time I ever could enjoy some sunlight and open air was when they brought me to Bukit Aman, where the meetings with my wife was being held. I think they gave me 2 or 3 meetings during those almost 2 months. And of course, the van couldn't drive right up to the top floor of Bukit Aman. He had to stop outside the lobby. So when being led from the van to the to the building, that's when I could feel some sunlight.
Do you know where you were detained?
No, and the place changes. Sometimes I'm detained in a certain place, and then they'll shift me to another place. There was a time where the detention was in a place I could hear children playing, probably playing football. I could hear the sound of a mosque in the distance during Azan, the Azan time. Then another place, after 2 weeks, they moved me to another place. It was underground. And then you hear nothing. It's there's no sound whatsoever except the sound of the pump. So I know we were underground because I could hear the air pump blowing, And the lights are on constantly, 24 hours. So you don't know when it's day or night. And of course,
How else does the room? Can you describe the room?
it's about 10 feet square. 10 feet square. You have a piece of plywood for bed. There's no mattress. There's no pillows. So you have to learn how to sleep on your back because you can't turn around. And what I do is they give you this blue prison uniform. So I take off the prison uniform because it's stifling hot. There's no windows. It's got a steel door which is constantly closed. So you are in a sort of a concrete box, no ventilation. And so I take off my clothes because it's like a sauna. You're sweating anyway. And I roll up my clothes and turn it into a pillow. So I sort of sleep naked with my clothes as the pillow. And then, of course, you have this light, which is never switched off. So you learn how to sleep with the light shining in your face and lying on a piece of very, not only filthy, but very itchy. Your whole back is itching, probably because you're sweating, and it's most uncomfortable. But after a while, how uncomfortable it may be, you get to learn how to sleep. And then when you get released, you go back to your home and you have this comfortable bed and you can't sleep because it's just too good compared to the last 2 months.
And would you have showers every day? Would you?
There's a toilet, a squat pen, what they call a Siamese toilet with a pipe. And they give you a bucket, a cebok. So you sort of stand over the toilet and use the bucket to pour water on your body, and that's about it. And they give you this little good morning towel, this face towel, which is what you use to wipe your body,
So that went on for 52 days.
Almost 2 months.
And you didn't go to Kamunting. You were released at the end
Yes,
of that.
I was released at the end of that.
What was the basis of the release? Why did they suddenly say, "Oh, we've had enough of you and you can now go home"?
Well, they detained 10 of us. 9 of them were reformasi activists. 6 were sent to Kamunting. 4 of us were released. 2 were released by court order, actually. So only 2 were released voluntary. And it's because the 9 that were detained were part of the reformasi movement. I was not considered part of the reformasi movement. I was running the Free Anwar campaign. What they wanted to do was actually use those 60 days to get as much information as they could about how we operate, who's financing us, who are our contacts, who within the government we get to meet, who in the police, who in the army are supporting us. So they wanted to basically find out how wide and how strong is the Reformasi movement, and whether even within the police and the army and within the civil service there are people who sympathize with us and who are secretly supporting us. It was a sort of a witch hunt. And they wanted to find, even our contacts in America, our contacts in Australia, who do we meet there, who do we talk to, who from the American government is supportive and sympathetic to our cause. So it was a fishing expedition, actually. My detention was to dig information as much as they could get out of me. I don't think they needed to use any physical torture. They said so. In fact, the first day I was brought into the interrogation room, they said, we're not going to beat you up. We're not going to assault you physically because you're not a hardcore criminal. You are just a political detainee. They said so. You're just a political detainee. Some days is, at the beginning of the interrogation, they said, today, we're going to make you cry. I said, try. You watch. We're going to make you cry. And of course, after a few hours, I did cry, Certain days, they said, today we're going to make you laugh. We're going to make you happy today. So they were playing with my mind and trying to demonstrate that they have control over my mind. And the only way you're going to get out of here is to cooperate and to reveal everything that we want to know and to answer all the questions that we ask you. So my resistance level was actually quite low. And I admit that, I got defeated. I mean, with 7, 8 special branch officers, well trained in interrogation methods, and they know how to play with your mind. But I was released after about 52 days. They did not send me to Kamunting.